All right, this is Rudy Davis. It's January 9th, 2015. This is my recorded phone call to U.S. Prosecuting Attorney Tiffany Hope Eggers. According to Pacer.gov, she is the U.S. prosecutor in Kent's new case, which is the mail fraud charges for the so-called Liz Pendants filing. Her email address is Tiffany, Tiffany, .Eggers, Eggers, at usdoj.gov. Her phone number is the same phone number as Michelle Heldemeyer, 850-444-4000. And let's call her and leave her a voicemail.
You have reached the United States Attorney's Office for Pensacola, Florida. Our office is currently closed. Our normal business hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. To spell by your party's last name, please press 2. Leave a message. Using the keys on your touch-tone phone, please enter the name of the party you wish to reach, last name first. Press star any. You're transferred. Please hold. You have reached the voicemail of Tiffany Eggers. She is currently unavailable to take your call. Please leave your name and telephone number at the sound of the tone, and she will return your call as soon as possible. Or if you would like to speak to someone immediately, press 0 to speak to the receptionist. Please be advised that any message left on this voicemail will be subject to retention and archival by the Department of Justice.
Hello, Miss Tiffany Eggers. I'm glad that this voicemail is subject to archival and retention. My name is Rudy Davis. My email address is ruddavis@yahoo.com, and I will be sending you an email soon, ma'am. I understand you're the new prosecutor that's been assigned to the new Kent Hovind case, and I would love to interview you and ask you some questions regarding your knowledge of Kent Hovind's previous case, which had John David Roy Atchison. Are you aware that John David Roy Atchison he actually hung himself in prison when he was getting off a plane with a jar of Vaseline and a doll, and he was caught in a pedophile sting operation, and he was the U.S. prosecuting attorney in Kent's first case. Also, ma'am, are you aware that Kent Hovind has already spent over 8 years in prison on so-called tax evasion charges, which are absolutely wrong? Those workers of Kent's were contract workers, and he was not obligated because he was running a church ministry. He was not running it. He was just a member. I don't even know that Kent was like the leader, right? He just... but the bottom line is that nobody was obligated to withhold taxes from contract workers. In addition, the structuring charges that were stacked up by Judge Margaret Casey Rogers, and I'm very concerned that she's going to be the same judge in the new case. That's very unethical. She should recluse herself because she was the first judge who acted unethically, in my opinion, from the first case. And it seems like there's been a den of vipers that has conspired together against Kent Hovind. So my question, ma'am, and also they said that he threatened an IRS agent, Scott Snyder, in the line of his duty with a prayer. I'm going to be sending you an email with a lot more details. I would love to talk to you about this. And do you think it's right that Al Sharpton goes and has $4.5 million back taxes and visits the White House 85 times, but a bad...
Thank you. Your message has reached its maximum duration. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message and record a new one, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. To mark your message as urgent, press 6. To mark your message as
let's mark it as urgent.
The message is now marked as urgent.
Yep.
To send your message, press 3 or hang up. Your message has been sent. To get transferred to an attendant, press 0. To access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press the pound key.
All right, I did the best I could in the time that I had. All you have to do to get to her particular voicemail is just spell Eggers real quick. It's 3443 7. If you type that in real quick, it takes you to Tiffany Hope Eggers. I didn't have any luck with Michelle Heldemeyer, but I did get the general voicemail box. I think that we should flood these people with voicemail. I'm going to leave them a voicemail once a day, when I get back. And it's just not right. I mean, look, Kent Hovind's already spent 8 years in prison on trumped-up fraudulent charges while this rat-fink Al Sharpton runs around owing $4.5 million taxes, and his best friends visits the White House over 80 times. And this Tiffany Hope Eggers is going after Kent Hovind again to keep him in prison for the rest of his life with the same judge? With the same judge. Do you think that same judge is going to give him a fair trial? Because if Kent gets out, he's going to expose what she did on the first trial. Oh, Lord help us. Anyway, I'm going to stop this and put it up on YouTube.
Florida, our office is currently closed. Our normal business hours are 8 a.m.
Okay, I'm going to do a second round.
Friday. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. To spell by your party's last name, please press 2. To leave a message using the keys on your touch-tone phone, please enter the name of the party you wish to reach, last name first. Press your transferred. Please hold. You have reached the voicemail of Tiffany Eggers. She is currently unavailable to take your call. Please leave your name and telephone number at the sound of the tone, and she will return your call as soon as possible. Or if you would like to speak to someone immediately, press 0 to speak to the receptionist. Please be advised that any message left on this voicemail will be subject to retention and archival by the Department of Justice.
Hello, Miss Tiffany Hope Eggers. I understand you're the new prosecutor for Kent Hovind and the new case that's upcoming. I would ask you to look very closely at the previous case. I just left you a previous voicemail, but it ran out of time. There were some things left unsaid, and I would like to continue. So, Judge Margaret Casey was the same judge on the first case, and I'm very concerned that she's the same judge on the second case. There comes a time, ma'am, when you stop going after the wind to put a notch on your belt, and you just look at what's right and wrong. Kent Hovind is a Baptist minister who's never tasted alcohol. He's never smoked a cigarette. He spent 8 years in prison, and now you're trying to put him in prison for the rest of his life. Ma'am, I would ask you, if you believe in God, to please just ask yourself, what's right here? What's right in this situation? Not only that, but ma'am, do you think it's possible that people have been sent into his prison cell to put Kent Hovind in a setup? Do you think that's possible that people have sent someone into Kent Hovind's prison cell to set him up so that he would fall into some sort of trap? I'm just curious if you think that's even possible. But Mrs. Eggers, I would please ask you to look at the first prosecuting attorney, John David Roy Atchison, who was a pedophile and hung himself in prison before he was brought to trial. I would ask you to look at the conduct of Judge Margaret Casey Rogers. And, the structuring charges, which were meant for money laundering and drug laws, how do you feel about that they stacked up the time sentences, that the judge stacked them up? And then not only that, but these were meant for people who do drugs. And so how do you feel about the government trying to seize the church property? See, the ministry that Kent Hovind was a member of, they received all of that money legally, ma'am. That wasn't drug money, and so the government has no right to seize their property. It's very unethical and illegal what's going on with Mr. Hovind. I please ask that you consider your role in this, and please help expose it and shed some light.
Thank you. Your message has reached its maximum duration. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message and record a new one, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. To mark your message as urgent, press 6. To mark your message is now marked as urgent. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. Your message has been sent. To get transferred to an attendant, press 0.
All right. I'm not giving up, folks. I'm just not giving up, and I'm going to be gone for a while. But when for the rest of my life, this is insane. We can't let a brother rot in prison.